What if I told you that forgetting a name, misplacing your keys, or walking into a room and not remembering why you went there does not automatically mean something is seriously wrong? But it also should not always be ignored, because after 60, one of the biggest silent fears many men and women carry is this question: is this normal aging? Or is this the beginning of something more serious? And today we are going to talk about memory loss after 60 in a calm, science-backed, practical, and empowering way, so you leave this conversation informed, reassured, and motivated instead of anxious, because knowledge removes fear and replaces it with action. And let me start by asking you gently, have you noticed small memory slips recently that made you pause and wonder, is this normal? And if you have, please know you are not alone, because as we age, some changes in memory are completely normal and expected. But understanding the difference between normal aging and early warning signs is what protects your confidence and your future independence. And here is something important to understand right away. The brain changes with age just like muscles and joints do. Processing speed may slow slightly. It may take longer to retrieve a name. Multitasking becomes more mentally tiring, and learning new technology might feel more challenging than it did at 30. But these changes alone do not equal dementia. And that distinction matters deeply, because fear of memory loss can sometimes cause more stress than the memory lapses themselves, and stress itself can worsen concentration and recall, creating a cycle that feels alarming, but is actually reversible. So let us break this down clearly. Normal age-related memory changes often include occasionally forgetting names but remembering them later, misplacing items but retracing steps and finding them, sometimes struggling to find the right word but continuing the conversation smoothly, or needing reminders to keep track of appointments. And these experiences are common and do not usually interfere with independent living. But early warning signs of more serious cognitive decline tend to involve consistent difficulty completing familiar tasks, getting lost in known places, repeating the same questions frequently without remembering the answers, major personality changes, confusion about time or place, or trouble managing finances and medications. And one key difference is impact on daily function. Because normal aging may slow you slightly, but it does not typically remove your ability to function independently. And let me share a reassuring statistic. While the risk of dementia increases with age, most people over 60 do not develop dementia. And mild forgetfulness alone is far more common than progressive disease. And now let me ask you another reflection question. When you forget something, do you eventually remember it later? Because that is often a sign that your memory system is intact, but retrieval is slower, and retrieval speed naturally declines slightly with age. And here is something fascinating from neuroscience research. The brain retains the ability to form new connections throughout life, a concept known as neuroplasticity, meaning your brain can adapt, strengthen, and reorganize even in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. And that means you are not powerless in this process. And now let us talk about why memory may feel different after 60 even when it is not pathological. Sleep changes with age, stress accumulates over decades, hormone levels shift, physical activity may decline, and social engagement sometimes decreases after retirement. And all of these factors influence cognitive clarity. So before assuming the worst, it is important to evaluate lifestyle factors. And here are actionable steps you can begin immediately. First, prioritize quality sleep. Because memory consolidation happens during deep sleep, and chronic sleep deprivation impairs recall and focus. So aim for consistent sleep timing, reduce screen exposure before bed, and create a calming bedtime routine. Second, move your body daily. Because regular physical activity increases blood flow to the brain and supports the growth of new neural connections. And even brisk walking for 20 to 30 minutes most days has been associated with improved cognitive performance in older adults. Third, challenge your brain intentionally. And I do not mean passive scrolling on a phone. I mean learning something new, reading challenging material, practicing a musical instrument, learning a language, or even engaging in complex conversations, because novelty stimulates neural pathways, and studies show that mental stimulation is linked with reduced cognitive decline risk. Fourth, maintain social connection, because isolation has been associated with increased cognitive decline risk, and meaningful conversations, group activities, volunteering, or even regular phone calls stimulate multiple brain regions simultaneously. And now let us address nutrition briefly but practically, because what you eat influences brain health, and diets rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, and fatty fish have been associated with better cognitive aging. and reducing excessive sugar and ultra-processed foods supports metabolic health, which is closely linked to brain health. And here is something powerful: high blood pressure, diabetes, and high cholesterol are risk factors not only for heart disease, but also for cognitive decline, meaning protecting your cardiovascular system protects your brain. And this connection is often overlooked. And now I want to address something emotional: the fear of losing independence, because many people over 60 worry not just about memory itself, but about what memory loss could mean. And that fear can create hyper-awareness of every small lapse. So here is a calming truth: occasional forgetfulness in a high-functioning, independent adult is common and often influenced by stress, distraction, or fatigue. And awareness itself is a positive sign, because people in early severe cognitive decline often lack insight into their changes. And now let us talk about when to seek professional evaluation, because early assessment can provide clarity and sometimes identify reversible causes such as vitamin deficiencies, thyroid imbalances, medication side effects, depression, or sleep disorders, and addressing these can significantly improve memory symptoms. And here is a simple guideline: if memory changes are frequent, worsening, or interfering with daily tasks, schedule a cognitive check with a healthcare professional. And doing so early is proactive, not dramatic. And now I want you to imagine something empowering. Imagine treating your brain like a muscle you train daily, because consistent mental and physical activity builds cognitive reserve, which is your brain's ability to compensate for age-related changes. And people with higher cognitive reserve often maintain function longer, even if structural brain changes occur. And building cognitive reserve starts today, not at 80. And here is another reflection question: how often do you challenge yourself mentally each week? And if the answer is rarely, this is not a criticism, it is an opportunity. And small daily challenges compound over time. And now let us talk about emotional health, because depression and anxiety can mimic memory loss, reducing concentration and recall. And many adults over 60 experience life transitions, such as retirement, loss of loved ones, or identity shifts that affect mood. And addressing emotional health through counseling, community, faith, or support groups can significantly improve cognitive clarity. And here is something reassuring: the brain is deeply interconnected with lifestyle, meaning improvements in sleep, movement, nutrition, and stress management can produce noticeable changes in memory performance within months. And that means your actions matter starting now. And now I want to share a simple weekly brain support routine. Walk most days, engage socially at least 3 times per week, learn or practice something new twice weekly, prioritize sleep nightly, and eat balanced meals consistently. And if you follow this consistently, you are actively supporting your cognitive future. And remember this powerful sentence: memory loss after 60 is not automatically a disease, but it is a signal worth understanding. And understanding removes panic and replaces it with purpose. And you are not fragile, you are adaptable. And your brain is more resilient than you may think. And as we close, I want you to reflect on this. What is one small habit you can strengthen this week to support your brain? Is it walking more, sleeping better, reconnecting with a friend, or reading daily? Choose one and commit to it, because consistency creates confidence and confidence reduces fear. And if this video helped clarify your concerns, eased your fears, or motivated you to take better care of your brain, please like this video, subscribe for more science-backed healthy aging guidance, and share your experiences or questions in the comments. Because your engagement helps us create more empowering content for strong, capable, and confident living after 60.